The central government may be forced to cut some of the expenditure to balance this year's budget. And according to official sources, the recent decision to extend the free ration scheme by 3 months till December may just require some expenditure curbs to balance out the budget. My colleague Karishma Asudani now joins in with these exclusive details. Karishma, how do you think and how essential are these expenditure cuts? Is the government likely to do this to inch them closer to the fiscal deficit targets in the budget?
Well, the government's recent decision to extend the 5 kilogram of grains per month has put their checks and balances in jeopardy, as the finance ministry sources. The creme de la creme of the finance ministry is now set to begin their meetings on the upcoming union budget on October 10th and will be focusing their discussions on the expenditure rationalization to see if there is a balancing of the additional costs. In fact, what we are picking up is in order to balance all their expenditure and revenue, government may look at systematic improvements and better checks on ancillary costs. They may adopt a uniform interest rate regime for all states when it comes to grain borrowing. They may also look at scheme restructuring of the PMGYAY with the help of DFPD, which is Department of Food and Public Distribution. The government last week, in fact, also slashed its borrowing target by rupees 10,000 crore for financial year 2023, indicating good tax collections that would be enough to bear their additional expenses. But as per sources, government is a bit worried on the non-tax revenues, but they are hoping small savings and provident fund receipts will help in their revenue balance by the end of the fiscal year.
All right, thanks Karishma for that. Moving on now, the government will be setting up 25,000 new telecom towers in the next 500 days. In a big move to improve the telecom coverage and connectivity, the government has planned to invest 260 billion rupees in this sector. This project is going to be financed through the Universal Services Obligation Fund and implemented by Bharat Broadband Network. The announcement for the new towers is coming just 3 days after the launch of 5G telecom services by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. India's first semiconductor lab in Mohali is now all set to get a second lease of life, and according to reports, the government plans to spend up to $1.3 billion to modernize and upgrade the semiconductor laboratory SCL campus in Mohali. The expenditure, the reports say, is a part of the government's $10 billion semiconductor incentive package. The SCL was set up in the year 1983 and is currently under the IT ministry. The facility, which is currently capable of manufacturing 118 nanometer chips, will be able to produce 28 nanometer chips after the proposed upgrade. The technology is still far behind in the front runners like Apple, who will be using 3 nanometer chips in its next generation of semiconductors.